Thank you for watching Square Learn Crash Course for MBAs. Our next topic for marketing is market analysis. While segmentation analysis focuses on consumers as individuals, market analysis takes a broader view of potential consumers to include market sizes and trends. Market analysis also includes a review of the competitive and regulatory environment. By closely examining the market, a marketing manager can determine if the segment selected is worth the trouble of a targeted marketing effort. MBAs can ask three important questions to evaluate a market. First, what is the relevant market? Second, where is the product in its product life cycle? Third, what are the key competitive factors in the industry? Let's go to the first question, what is the relevant market? The easiest mistake to make is to believe that your relevant market includes the total sales of your product's category. Example, the possibility of selling a Mexican gourmet ground coffee in grocery stores. It would have been misleading to assume that all coffee sales were in my relevant target market. Approximately 11 billion of coffee was sold in 1990. However, 60% of that total was sold in stores, while the other 40% was sold to the institutional markets, including restaurants and vending machines. That left with a retail market of 6.6 billion. But within that larger coffee market there were additional submarkets to investigate before arriving at my final relevant market. The gourmet coffee market accounted for 750 million, or 11% of the retail market sales. Within the gourmet coffee market, only 60% of the coffee sold had no artificial flavorings. A Mexican coffee had no additives and the producer refused to artificially flavor his coffee. Therefore, my relevant market was further reduced to 450 million, but of that market slice, only 55% was sold in supermarkets. That left me with a 248 million market. That was my relevant market. The next question we have under market analysis is, where is the product in its product life cycle? Products can be characterized by the stage that they are at in their product life cycles, or PLC. Instead of being merely a factor of time, the PLC describes how a product's sales grow, as new segments become aware and begin buying it. Cellular phone service began in the early 1970s with fewer than 10,000 users. But it wasn't until the 1990s, when the prices dropped, and many could afford a unit for their cars, that a multi-segment market of over 6 million users emerged. Now everyone has a cell phone. The PLC concept is important because the process of diffusion or adoption by the population has major implications for how a product is marketed. Each product develops its own unique PLC as it matures. The four generic stages of the PLC are: Stage 1, Introduction, Stage 2, Growth, Stage 3, Maturity, and Stage 4, Decline. Stage 1, Introduction. The question, what is it? Means awareness and education are needed. If possible, a trial is important. High advertising costs may be incurred to get the word out. Some vendors opt for an exclusive distribution of their products in a few select outlets at first. Initially, companies make frequent product changes as customers' needs become known. The first buyers are called the innovators, followed by the early adopters. They freely take purchase risks because their personalities or pocketbooks allow them to do so. When companies introduce new products, managers must make difficult pricing decisions because there is frequently no basis for comparison. the level of initial prices and profits has great implications regarding the outcome of future battles with competitors as well as your ability to perform additional research and development. Stage 2 Growth. This question, where can I get it? Means education is still important, but at this stage competition is intensified. The early majority becomes interested. As more consumers become familiar with a product, they examine the new models to decide which to buy, not whether they should buy. When buyers get to the store, they start comparing features. The product more accessible, marketers often choose a selective distribution to gain a greater number and variety of outlets. At this stage it is important to boost your sales volume ahead of the competition in order to reduce costs through production and advertising efficiencies. This helps a company gain the competitive advantage in the next stage of the PLC. Stage 3, Maturity. The next question, why this one? At this stage the late majority of the mass market buys. Because people are accustomed to buying the product and the differences are few, brand loyalty plays a dominant role. Price competition often becomes heated in stable markets because additional market share comes directly from your competitors. The product's features that were so important in the growth stage have become standardized. Because there is less differentiation on product attributes, advertising is used as a vehicle to differentiate products. Marketing managers try to segment their target market as much as possible to meet specific unmet consumer needs. In mature markets, competitors are ferreting out all possible segments. All possible channels of distribution are also considered using a mass market distribution strategy. Stage 4, Decline. And the last question, how much? As a product ages in its PLC, it is likely that its competitors offer similar products. Even the most timid consumers, the laggards, find it safe to buy the product at this late stage. Consumers turn a deaf ear to advertising because they know that all competing products are the same. At this stage many companies focus their efforts on reducing price if competition remains, or slowly increasing prices if the competitive field thins. Trade relations are key to staying on the retail shelf at this point, because without the excitement of novelty, distributors and retailers would rather allocate space to newer and potentially more profitable products. The effort to sell the trade is popularly called relationship marketing. With some products the maturity phase does not necessarily mean death. Products can be reinvigorated after a period of maturity, and a new growth phase can begin. In some cases, lingering death throes produce large profits for the last manufacturer. In the vacuum tube business, which supplies electronic tubes for old TVs, radios, and other equipment. Using an endgame strategy, the remaining producers can extract large profits from customers since they have nowhere else to go for their replacement parts. The last question we have under market analysis is, what are the key competitive factors within the industry? There are 5 major key competitive factors that constitute the battleground in most industries. First quality, then price, advertising, research and development, and service. In the fast food industry, for example, intensive advertising and promotion are key. In industries providing raw materials to others, price and service are key. In the investigation of the coffee industry, they found price and quality to be the basis of competition. When developing a marketing plan, you may want to try to change the basis of competition to one that favors your firm, but the key underlying competitive factors cannot be ignored.